Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode
925. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. And Haley's back again.
Yay, I showed up.
Today it's the return of the much-loved feature, The Cassette Cubbyhole, where I feature my old interview with country singer and voice host Blake Shelton.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
We also hear from Adam Rutabaga, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. And I love to eat at Fenton's.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
It's an ice cream place in Oakland. Have you been there?
I haven't. I've been to Lloyd's.
I should be singing. So I met the love of my life, my one and only partner that would be a great wife. I met her at a waste management booth at the Podcastro Valley Fall Festival. That was so nice this past weekend. We talked for a while about our respective dogs. She had beautiful eyes. Wait a minute, she had sunglasses on, so how did I know that?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Okay, that last point, I may not be able to verify that fact.
Mike's
But she also had a boxer.
Daily
And I have Basil the boxer.
Podcast.
I made a subtle sort of attempt at asking her out, but I felt resistance. I basically asked her, do you walk some of our local trails? And she said no.
Oh.
Come to think of it, I think she had weird teeth. I shouldn't date anybody at this point. I'm a judgmental jerk.
I think you're just ashamed of the fact that you loved the look of your eyes so much that you saw them in her sunglasses and you were like, wow, that's pretty.
That's what it was. But I had sunglasses on. So maybe it was God's eyes.
God's eyes are reflected in the world's sunglasses.
Or maybe it's God's hands. We are God's hands. My hands are all I know, and they're not... That was a Jewel song.
Maybe it's Godsmack.
Ooh, sing a Godsmack song.
I own their first album, and I've listened to it numerous times, but none of those songs have left a lasting impression on me.
Wait a minute, so you were growing up in a strict Christian household, and
Yep.
you were allowed to have a Godsmack album?
Nope, bought it last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What brought about buying it?
It was $2. I shopped the clearance section at our local half-price bookstore, which is $2 a CD. And so if I'm like, oh, I think I know this band, or oh, I like this cover art, or oh, I've been looking for this album, I usually buy it. I've almost completed my entire Alanis Morissette discography completely out of the $2 section.
Wow. Jagged Little Pill. Mm-hmm. What was the one that came out after that?
I don't know, but it's weird.
Thank you, India.
Yeah.
Thank you, Harvard.
That album's a mess. That song's pretty good, but that
Yeah.
album is a mess.
I like the one where she's singing to her ex-boyfriends.
You ought to
Dear
know?
Jim, you rocked my world. It's called Untitled.
Oh. Is that off the second album, or the other ones?
I thought, well, actually, Jagged Little Pill is her second album because she
That's
had like a
true.
weird pop album in Canada.
Yeah.
Welcome to
I haven't
Atlantis.
been able to find that. I haven't been able to find that one.
How about Hands Clean? Did you like that song?
I don't remember.
We returned to sin and you've washed your hands clean.
The only
of
one that
this.
I've listened to in depth was Jagged Little Pill,
Yeah.
because that's a good album.
It had a lot of songs that got played off of it, like the hands, head over feet.
Head over feet. Yeah.
I got one hand in my pocket.
Yeah. And then, of course, ironic.
I want you ought to know.
You ought to
Ironic.
know. Great song. A bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but good song.
Which, if you listen to some of Katy Perry's stuff, you kind of get a feeling like she was heavily influenced by Alanis Morissette.
I wouldn't doubt it.
There was a song called I Move Right Through You that had an interesting imagery.
I'm looking through you.
Yeah.
No, that's the Beatles.
That's a Beatles song. Never mind. No. There's the Beatles song.
I know that one. I can't sing it off the top of my head, but I know which one you're talking about.
I move right through you. Something like that. You're welcome to Alanis Talk. I'm your host, Alanis Morissette. Here are some of the great songs that I've come out with over my career. I'm forgetting the one. Oh, the one from the Nicolas Cage movie. The one that had that dun, dun, dun. It had this, like, you know, I
know that's
uninvited.
Oh, that one.
That's it. Uninvited.
Right. Yeah. Alanis Morissette.
I want to hear all about your alarm clock problems, but first off, look who just walked in.
Hello, my is Madam Tabago, and I want to hear the alarm problems too.
All right, madam, let's sit and listen.
Okay, so first off, I want to say that I am surviving off of caffeine right now, but for the first...
Oh, I'll have a coffee drink.
Yep.
Good morning, Mr. Matthews.
I brought the coffee today.
This is intermission for
Thank you,
coffee
madam.
drinks.
Time for coffee.
I brought in a guest Keurig. Ooh.
Thank you for the guest Keurig.
Okay, now that we've had our coffee.
Yum.
So for the first hour or so, have I been awake for more than an hour? What time is it?
It is now 5:49.
Okay, I've been awake for more than an hour. So the first hour of being awake, I was existing entirely off of adrenaline.
Why?
Because I like to wake up to my own music. And the last alarm clock that I had, there was a few glitches to it to start with, but you couldn't add your own music to it. You had to choose from the select songs, and that got really old.
Oh.
And I was able to sleep through it pretty fast. Because I like to circulate the songs and stuff. I used to have a separate song for every day of the week. And I'm going to set that up again. But it's very tricky with song selection for an alarm clock. Because you don't want one that's too soft and quiet.
Right.
Because you can sleep through it.
Yeah.
You want something that can wake you up. But you don't want something that will bounce you out of your bed and smash you into a wall. Because it's that. And I have 4 separate alarms to get up. I had the 2 of the previous alarm. And then I have 2 alarms from this new alarm. Just to make sure, because it is very early and I'm not a morning person and I don't want to take any chances. So the first alarm for this new alarm starts, and it's a pretty nice song. It's like burn, 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 burn. And I'm like, okay, I'm awake. Is
that Neil Diamond's Cracklin' Rose? Burn, burn, burn,
That's burn, burn, burn. Yeah.
Cracklin' Rosie.
I should wake up to Neil Diamond. Thank you. Anyway,
get up!
Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I saw. Anyway,
sorry, I had to molest the microphone. That doesn't sound right.
So I wake up pretty easily to that one, and I'm sort of kind of drifting back to sleep at the point that the second one comes around. And let me tell you, I made the wrong choice. The song I chose was an MIA song. And her songs can have a range, but this specific one was like right off the bat. And she's Sri Lankan, and she takes a lot of influence from the Sri Lankan music, the Indian music, the kind of. So immediately after the whole it was like boom, 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 and I have never been so awake in my life. So that wasn't too fun. I thought I was going to have a heart attack.
Gosh, so the MIA basically almost killed you today with her intense music.
It's true. I love her intense music, though.
And I was trying to find on my stupid iPhone the alarm thing that I wake up to. It's the one that goes... It wakes me up. That's what wakes me up every morning. Is Cotton Eye Joe.
I should put on Around the World.
Going all around the world.
Yeah, la 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 la
la la la. Well, Jeremy, I found that story fascinating.
Thank you. So I am more awake than I have been in previous episodes, for sure.
Haley, long-time listener, first-time caller. What I wanted to tell you is that MIA and I used to party all the time, and she would take all of my gum. Oh.
That's intense partying.
Yeah.
With MIA. Were you in the Bad Girls video?
That's right. I was in the Bad Girls video for the Gloria Estefan.
No, the MIA.
No,
Bad Girls.
MIA Bad Girls.
How does that song go?
Live fast, die young, bad girls do it well.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's scary, but
it's intense. It's a scary video.
MIA seems to frighten me.
I love MIA. She should frighten you.
Okay. Listen, I was in an interesting thing on the weekend, the Podcaster Valley Harvest Festival. Mm-hmm. Or Fall Festival. Harvest Festival is like a Christian thing.
No, Fall Festival is a Christian thing.
No.
Well, I guess it depends. But my church always had Fall Festival.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, first off, having a Fall Festival like the first freaking week of September, it's still hot. It doesn't feel like fall.
Is it fall? Is it fall? I don't think it's fall.
I don't think it's technically fall yet.
I don't know.
If I fall, help me back up.
Fallen and I can't get up.
But what happened was, I was walking along and I saw a couple. They looked to both be women.
Okay.
Because they had cleavage. They had like low cut sort of tank top things like women wear in the summertime.
Okay.
Cleavage.
Okay.
But one of them, I don't know about the other, but one of them definitely had a Lincoln beard. Okay. So then there's a guy there who's like, first off, I'm getting really tired of the fall. I used to love going to the Podcaster Valley Fall Festival. Mm-hmm. I've lived here now. It'll be 6 years tomorrow. I moved to the Bay Area 6 years ago tomorrow. Thank you. I moved here when we were at the freaking low point, and now if you listen to the last show, freaking home prices are through the roof. We've got like the highest prices in the country.
Average rent rate is $2,000.
I don't know how, here in radio, nobody can survive. They don't pay anything. Mm-hmm. So how is anybody going to live in the Bay Area? It makes no sense. It's too expensive. And it's all because of a bunch of stupid apps thank you for listening to the show through an app.
Thank you. We love you. We love these apps.
We love these apps.
Yeah.
That are killing us.
Yes.
Strangling us. Strangling. Anywho, this guy was like trying to say, hey guys, come over to my booth. And then he was like, ma'am, and then he couldn't, and then he didn't know. So I think as a society, we'll just drop pronouns altogether.
That would be fine. Or find better ones.
Yeah.
I'm an advocate for them.
Them?
They, them. It's in the Oxford Dictionary for a singular of someone of indeterminate gender.
Ah!
Yeah. You use it in your daily life to talk about just various people.
Ah! So if you were that barker, if you were that carnival barker, that was what I was going to say. The fall festival is full of barkers now. Bob Barkers.
Bob Barkers. Come on down.
Spay and new to your pet.
Spay and new to your game show hosts.
And so, yeah, it's all a bunch of salespeople now at the Fall Festival, which I don't like. But
of course.
If you were that salesperson trying to get their attention, what would you say?
I'd say, hello, how are you doing today? Come on down. See, yep, I'm talking to you. Hello. Come on, don't be afraid.
So drop the y'all would have worked.
Y'all would have worked.
If we were in the South, it would have been perfect.
Hey, y'all.
See,
I'm pretty sure it's a harvest festival. I'm pretty sure you can get away with y'all.
I think we've had a wonderful discussion today, which brings it back around because today is sort of a country show because we got Blake Shelton on.
That's a big name.
Blake Shelton from 13 years ago.
That was a smaller name back then.
That was his first song, Haley.
Nice.
So on the country charts, it went to number 1. It's sort of a big thing if you release a single and it goes to number 1 on the country charts and it's your first single. That's crazy.
That means he made it.
Yeah, and then he did it again quite a few times. Had number 1. So.
Oops, he did it again.
He did, but did not ever cover that song. Oddly enough,
he should have.
Then he was married to the very lovely Miranda Lambert, but they just recently got a divorce.
Oh, what a shame.
But Miranda Lambert has some fun songs. Mm-hmm. I enjoy her stuff. Okay, and then she was in it with a band called the Pistol Annies. That was kind of like a Dixie Chicks 3 women sort of thing.
I feel like I've heard of them.
I think you would enjoy some of their sassy stuff. Hey, so What else are we gonna talk about?
We're gonna
Talk about the Creed and the Scott Stapp.
We're gonna
with arms wide open.
We're gonna talk about Nickelback. There's this remix of the song "Photograph." It's not really a remix, but someone just changed all the lyrics. So instead of actually having all the lyrics, it's look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh. And then they just take every time I do it makes me laugh and insert that for all the other lines. Every time I do it makes me laugh. Every time I do it makes me laugh. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, just to the end.
You looked so maniacal just then when you were doing that fake evil laugh.
Just like Chad Kroeger.
Whoa! God, I hate his goatee. When Chad Kroeger has a goatee, it looks so douche-tastic.
I hate his hair. I hate the color of his hair.
Why does he sing so strained? I mean, like when Bob Seger sang... Seger? Did I call him Bob Seger?
Seger.
When he sang, you know, it was sort of... like a rock... I mean, he just kind of... That was his throaty sort of...
I don't rock and roll.
Here... Don't take me to a disco.
And when Kurt Cobain sang, he just fell half asleep.
Yeah,
you know. It's a bridge.
That's right.
Yeah,
I think that's why people loved him so much, especially when he did his acoustic thing. As he did that wonderful cover of "The Man Who Ruled the World."
Yeah,
and it was like almost like a lullaby.
It really is. Some of his songs are beautifully lullaby. What else could I say? Everyone's gay. Okay, moving along.
That's right.
Yep.
That song is called
All Apologies.
Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, that was the In Utero album. Was it?
Yes. Yes, it was.
I don't know. I just got their greatest hits. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Oh, we have some... it's time now for emails from you and your comment, not so comments.
Booyah!
Oh, my God!
Email for email and your and not so comments.
Gosh, I hate that I have to go back and edit out your real name like 1,000 times out of this podcast.
Yellow's faults.
Haley,
yeah.
Here's one of the... We got a comment on SoundCloud that reads as following.
Who comments on SoundCloud?
And it comes from... the account name is Deleted User. And here it is. I love having fun with a real man. Click me. And then there's some HTTP thing. Which I should click on right now. It just shut down all the lights and everything. What happened?
No!
Oh no, but God, wide open. And here's another comment. Dear Haley. Oh, it's to you. What are your thoughts on cannibalism and communism? The two C's. In parentheses, it says, have you considered that cannibalism is the most ethical because it's the only food source you can get consent from? Also, YRGF says hi.
That's your GF? Thank you.
Your GF.
Your GF?
Does that stand for giraffe?
It might.
Oh, okay.
It's, yeah.
So
that's Ollie again. That's that one comment that you were like, let's do this segment, and I was like, I didn't actually read it.
Oh, okay. So what do you think about cannibalism?
Okay, cannibalism. I love cannibals, you know. Jump in the pool, make a big splash. Yay! Oh, wait, no, that's not what they mean.
What's that from?
Never mind.
Oh, cannonballs! I thought you were going to go into She Drives Me Crazy.
What a bunch of fine young cannibals.
Anyway.
That's a good album.
It is the raw and the cooked.
Yeah, it's got like the she tries me, but it's also got some like malt shop throwback type songs.
Yeah. Dun, dun, good thing. Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Good thing I'm not the man
I used to be.
Yeah, it's a good album. I'm
Never had the good things only money could buy.
Yeah.
I drive my car, but I haven't got a car to drive.
So that's my opinion on Cannibals.
Oh, I know these times are bad and they make you wanna cry.
Yeah.
But don't feel sad, we'll get by. Baby, baby, don't look back. It won't do no good. Baby, baby, don't look back. I know you're tired of the song and I think that you should be.
Yeah. Anyway,
Thank you, Haley.
So my opinion on Kanyeism is they call Kanyeism the red tide, and there's actually a natural phenomenon called the red tide, where a bunch of algae in the ocean drifting along under certain climates will get washed around in a certain way, and it'll all turn red, and you'll have this giant sort of cloud of red algae, and they actually farm it. They actually like artificially make it red, and will farm it and put it in vitamins and things. It's really fascinating because they just piss off the algae enough to make it have extra nutrients or something. Don't ask me. But that's the red tide coming in, and also communism's cool.
Wait a minute. So what do they use the algae for?
They put it in like vitamin supplements and things. Oh. Yeah.
See now, okay, and I always heard about blue-green algae being good for you, and then it turns out it's killing a bunch of dogs up at Lake Chabot in Podcaster Valley, and you should not let your dog near the lake.
Well, it happens.
Don't say that. Dogs shouldn't die. It's just...
Did you know there's a website called Does the Dog Die, where you can go on there and look up a movie, and it'll tell you if the dog dies in the movie?
Old Yeller?
It tells you if the dog died in that movie.
Oh. I get really mad when I see anything where a dog... Like, if a TV show gratuitously kills a dog...
Yeah.
Like, I stopped watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a while because they did that.
Oh.
I'm like, that's just awful.
Yeah, so you need that website. You
Thank
can check
you.
it out.
That way I can avoid such things. Hey, all right, so you're into communism, but how about we... how about Kanye-ism?
Kanye-ism. You know, I was down with Kanye-ism, but he's a bit pretentious nowadays.
Oh.
Yeah.
He does like himself quite a bit.
Yeah, and I appreciate his self-confidence, but it's just kind of gotten a little bit over the edge lately.
It's interesting how the Catholic Church is pretty much communistic in many ways.
I don't think so. They're like an oligarchy.
But if you look at their like individual little cloisters or whatever you call it, where the
cloister's a Pokemon.
Their little, when you go to a church and they've got their little living system, they have to do like a little form of communism. They kind of have to everybody has their own individual jobs that they have to do and stuff.
Oh, are you talking about like little separate communities? Because that is like the Amish and stuff too, or to a degree, communist communities because they're self-supporting and everyone gets their part and stuff like that.
But you realize America will never be communist.
It might.
No,
it might switch to like socialist, but communist, I don't believe.
No, I don't think it'll ever be socialist either.
It may.
No,
it's getting closer.
Maybe long after you're dead.
Maybe
because it won't happen in my life. It may happen in your, but it won't. I think the DNA of America is so capitalistic, every person for themselves.
100%.
That's just the way, because you look at Europe, and so much socialism is all over Europe.
Right, and they started like we were though. The big corporations and stuff. It has switched over.
I can see where, out of sympathy for people, like you talk to a lot of the major. I was just watching an interview with the guy who founded the Carlyle Group. Ferguson something's his name, and he's the one that bought the Magna Carta and put it in the National Archives so that we can see it, in Washington D.C. for free. And he was all about, like, yeah, I believe in whatever I can do to help people, low-income people learn things. I want a smart, educated America is what I want.
Right.
It made total sense. But
That
yet
makes
he's
sense.
a capitalist that went and, he made so much money at being a businessman.
Well, there's something to say about people who want education. Education is extremely important. I want to put that out there right now.
That's true.
But for someone who has made their way in being rich and making a lot of money to strive for an educated entire populace, that sort of symbolizes that you want people to be more productive, which is still leading along a capitalist group. So education is really important if it's for people to achieve their own personal goals. And I think people should get education. But there's a balance between, like, the purpose of education. Because even our education is so structured. Like, everyone has to learn this specific math and everyone has to do this specific thing. It puts everyone on a level where they can be utilized.
Oh, so, like, we're still drones.
We're still drones.
Peons.
Yeah,
still
that's true.
automatons.
Like, it's true. We're still peons. We're still just getting peed on.
Excellent. Well, see, this is what you get when you ask Haley questions. So if you'd like to make a comment, go to any of the places there. We're on Twitter, at Mike Talks, Facebook.com/
I don't think you mentioned Twitter in a while.
Facebook.com/ Mike's Daily Podcast. Wait, is that how Facebook works? Anyway.
Yeah, Facebook.com/ Mike's Daily
Podcast.
Yeah, as long as you said, or it might be Facebook.com/pages/ Mike's Daily Podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Very good. Tumblr, MikeBlogs.tumblr, or Mike'sDailyPodcast.tumblr. And then, of course, all the links to find it wherever this show is at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. All the links. And if you want to help us out, go to Amazon through Mike'sDailyPodcast.com and buy something. Be capitalistic and buy stuff like books about communism. And then we get a little bit of something from that.
Little something. We mean cash.
And if you want to become an inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster through the wonderful PayPal system, that's great. An MP3 for thee will be then given to you from all the podcast players, the Cafe Anyway characters. Okay,
True.
Let's continue our wonderful country-themed show by eating some delicious fried chicken.
Being good old rednecked 100% American communists.
And listen to the fascinating, this is a bizarre, you will not hear Blake Shelton like this. Well, actually, you never, Blake Shelton is very unpredictable. He's a hilarious guy. Whenever he's on a talk show, he's hilarious.
Oh, that's cool.
So, de rigueur, wait, how do you say that French word for, like, in a suit? I don't freaking know.
Into an interview.
Actually, it's a cassette cubbyhole, because...
Into a cassette cubbyhole.
Because, and by the way, this was recorded onto cassette on my radio show back on my birthday in 2002.
Happy previous birthday.
Thank you, November 22nd. I was still in my, 30s then. Crazy. Anyway, yeah, so he was just coming out, as we mentioned earlier, coming out of the closet as being gay. No, he's not. But
coming out of my cage and I've been feeling just fine.
I've been doing it, sticking name flying.
God, I do not like that song.
Killers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so he was just emerging on the country music scene then, and we talk a little bit about things. He makes a joke about soccer. Ooh. That's kind of a little off-key. That's interesting. So you'll hear that.
Do you know what else is off-key?
What?
Vuvuzelas.
Iggy Azalea?
Yes, but vuvuzelas?
What are those? Thank you so much.
Mike's Cassette Cubbyhole.
Blake Shelton at the KH Cafe. Thanks for stopping by, Blake. You know, I love Hoyt Axton. Really?
Tell me a little bit about Hoyt Axton, your connection to him.
Well, Hoyt was a guy, his mother was a lady named Mayborn Axton, who was a famous songwriter in Nashville. She wrote Heartbreak Hotel for Elvis Presley. If you ever only had to write one song, that would be the one.
Oh, yeah.
And so my first job in town was painting her house. When I hit Nashville, I was 17, and Hoyt happened to be in town during that time. He used to invite me onto his tour bus during my lunch breaks to talk to me about music and what my plans were, and he would tell me some of the things he'd went through. And one day I got up on the bus and he just started tapping on the table there in his tour bus, and he sang "Old Red" to me a cappella, and I held on to it for all that time until I was able to get a record deal and put it on an album. So that's always been a special song to me, just because I've always had a good feeling about it, and to see it come out and do well, it's just it means that much more to you, because it makes you feel like, man, I was right about one.
Wow, that is a trip. Now, do you think there'll ever be a sequel to this? We'll find out. If Old Red ever.
Right. It depends if they ever catch me, because it's a true story. I'm the guy that got out of prison.
Oh, okay.
So we'll wait and see. Give me a few years, and we'll see if they ever catch up with me. I travel a lot, so I'm hard to find. Right.
But you're a very tall individual, so you can't really hide in small places.
That's true. And I've got huge hair.
Yeah.
Which is the other disadvantage that I have.
You can't really hide that unless you buy a bald head from some makeup place and go around like Kojak.
Or Mark McGuinn.
That's true.
Right.
Mark, did he take his hat off for you, Mark McGuinn?
Yeah, I think I've seen him without his hat.
It's a neat thing, isn't it? It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable.
Put that back on, Mark, please. But that's nice to hear that you say hi to Mark if you see him.
I will.
Because he, have you guys ever played soccer? I know he's like a former soccer pro guy.
Is he really?
And I know you love soccer.
Oh man, I love soccer.
Oh, wait, was that you?
I've punched her a few times. I never soccer.
I don't know. What does he mean by that? Okay, but anyway, Sean Connery wanted to come back out real quick and say something.
Oh, okay, here he comes.
I made you some delicious soup.
Whoa!
Would you like some, Blake Shelton? It's made out of snake. I've got to run.
Okay, well, that was...
It looks a little bit more like egg drop soup, which is frightening, to say the least.
I'm addicted to that stuff.
Really?
I don't know. I love the little spoons they give to you when they're a little bit longer than the normal spoon.
Right.
I'm gonna get me some.
A little deeper too.
I hope I get some for my birthday, which is today, Blake.
Really,
Shelton.
happy birthday!
Thank you. Wow,
that's amazing.
Would you like some carrot cake?
Yes. Do you have any?
We might have some left, unless Old Red ate some. And this song also got a zillion requests. Thank you for releasing it, Blake Shelton.
Thank you for playing it.
And thanks for coming by. And once again, February 4th, The Dreamer, which features the song The Baby, will be out in your record stores on Warner Brothers.
I'll buy you one for your birthday.
Oh, boy. That's cool. All right, well, thanks a lot, Blake. Wow, that was Blake Shelton. Old Red is a song about dogs, but the dog doesn't die in the song, so that we wouldn't need that website. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley.
And here's today's podcast picture.
What a beautiful day.
The podcast picture, Haley, is of me, because it's all about me, this show.
It's all about you.
Because I'm having a narcissistic complex.
This show is about me!
The French word I was thinking of was Jean-Louis the Foufou. I couldn't think of the French word, and that's what it was.
That's more than one word, I feel.
Also, je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi.
Voulez-vous? No, wait. Hey, the pictures of me at Half Moon Bay, and I make a little joke about that I'm bald, and I have a shiny head at Half Moon Bay and a moon.
You match.
Yeah. So there's that picture there at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com of Madame Rutabaga. You know who didn't walk in today, but they're out here on the patio with us? It's so great. Is these guys.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Hey, out here in the parking lot there. Hey, Haley, how's it going?
So I have a question for...
You have beautiful eyes.
I have a question for Bison Bentley.
Hey, yeah, all right.
Do you know that? What do you want to know, Haley?
Why are you always so far away from the microphone?
Because I'm really loud, and Mike gets mad at me when I'm right on the mic like now. And I say, do you know that? Do you know that?
Oh, geez, stop! Ugh.
Sorry, Mike. Hey, Haley.
Yeah.
I really like living in the Bay Area and driving my car around and getting stuck behind people driving really slow.
Beep, beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep.
Do you know that?
I do now.
Interesting. Wow, you guys could have your own show together. Be the Haley and Bison show.
That would get old.
Everything gets old.
Everything gets old. Everything dies.
On that note, next show.
The universe is slowly moving into entropy.
Wow. That means it's slowing down. Oh my gosh, I used to hate that. You know, I went to a Baptist school. That's why you and I get along so well. It's because we both have this strong, crazy, whacked out religion background. And I went to a Baptist school, and they used to tell us every class would start with, today we're going to teach you math. Today we're going to teach you history. But as everything is winding down for the second coming, it would always be about the second coming of Christ.
It's coming.
And
it'll be here.
And so, like, computer class, oh yes, this is just we're going to teach you computers. This is just an instrument for the devil and second coming of Christ. But here's the computer. And then, and so that was crazy. I had to get that. That was like looming over my head.
Sounds pretty crazy.
And like, why are you doing that? And
why would you do that?
But in a sense, it helped prepare me for life because we all know we're going to die.
Do you know what my Bible class taught me?
What?
Taught me at the beginning of Genesis was a fraud, just made up.
Your Bible class taught you that?
Oh yeah, because because the very beginning of Genesis, the origin story of like the creation, is a very sort of segmented away from the rest of what was going on, the rest of what was written down.
Oh.
And if you look at the religions of that day, back when the Bible was written, the first chapter, Genesis, there were already a couple different religions established, obviously, because we don't exist in a void, and they all had their own sort of origin story, and there's actually a couple that are very similar to the beginning of the Bible.
Right.
So they needed to have one, so they threw that one in. So the creation story of the 7 days and all that is...
That's interesting. They taught you that in Bible class.
Yeah. Well, they wanted you to be actually educated about things.
And that's great. And that class the money was supplied by the Carlisle group? No.
No.
Not that
It was
guy.
some weird... denomination. I don't remember.
Hey, we better get back to work because we're still at work. We better go, huh?
I guess so.
Okay, well, next show we'll have the much-loved news segment called Matthew's News.
Yay.
So maybe something science-themed we'll have for you next time. That'll be...
Blinded me with science.
And he'll sing 80 songs again.
Blinded me with science.
And we'll hear from Shelley Shuhart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the Engineer.
Can I go now, Mike?
Yeah, go ahead. Although we'll miss you. Bonjour. Oh, another French word.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!